I'm here at Portsmouth Dockyard and the last resting place of the HMS Illustrious. Entered service in 1982 and for 32 years it loyally served the naval base. It was decommissioned just last year and its best days may be behind it. However, for days like today, there's plenty of action. There's smoke, casualties and lots of running around. It's training day for the fire service.
There is a lot of hazards on board the ship. I don't mean to keep stressing that overly too much, but treat it like an actual incident, you won't go far wrong. It's an ideal opportunity to test our procedures on a decommissioned warship, which don't normally get the opportunity to do so.
The group of firefighters from Hampshire Fire and Rescue assembled for their briefing before making their way onto the ageing vessel. It might be a practice, but everyone has a vital role to play.
We were called to a suspected fire on HMS Illustrious, a decommissioned aircraft carrier. Okay, 5 pumps were initially deployed and we took it from there. The OIC did his recce, and to be fair, situations like this, they're big ships, they're rat runs, there could be people everywhere, could be multiple compartment fires. It's a case of turn up and see how it goes.
That's where we are now in this area. It's fortunately for us, it's on this deck. It's just duplicating what we've got, which is going to be our main map, so that's yours as well.
Months of planning would have gone into this. So the local station at Southsea, supported by Cosham and our training department headquarters in terms of resources, would have spent many months working with the dockyard, working with the owners of the ship, working with the emergency response team within the dockyard itself. So an awful lot of planning does go into organising something of this nature. You know, if we don't do realistic training, then it makes it much more difficult for our staff to deal with real operational incidents. So we're very fortunate that HM Naval Base are willing to allow us to use this kind of a resource.
Everyone is a model of concentration as they take stock of their surroundings and properly detail a plan of action.
It is organised chaos in the best sense of the word. Everyone's got a job to do, everyone knows what they're doing. Information gathering's the big one. You don't just put the doors through and go charging in with your BA sets on. We were told initially there were 3 persons missing, 3 casualties. We also liaised with the dockyard emergency response, emergency rescue teams. They've got more of the knowledge of the ship, more knowledge of the dockyards, the hazards. And again, this all goes to the OIC's briefing, and then he passes it back to us, the firefighters and the BA crews, who will get committed into the risk area to search and rescue for casualties on board the ship.
Don't go into that compartment without media though. Okay. Happy about that? Okay.
Well, initially when we turn up at any incident, be it a ship or a house or a car fire, whatever, we need to gather some information. My primary role is responsibility for my crews when I put them into an incident, so I have to make sure it's safe enough for them to go in there. Clearly it's on fire, so they're going to be exposed to heat and smoke, and because the ship's currently decommissioned, there are holes in the deck, so there are obviously hazards inherent with that kind of thing. But there were 3 people missing, so we will take a significant amount of risk to try and rescue those individuals, but that won't be reckless. The fire crews obviously do their thing, so they're very practical, hands-on, dragging hose around and trying to make an attack on the fire, so doing the important bit, if you like. In terms for me and the rest of the command team, we learn from this because we're working with people we don't work with all the time, so our police colleagues, South Central Ambulance Service colleagues, the dockyard, as I say, the emergency response team and others. So it gives us an opportunity to work with those individuals, and also establishing a command structure that's going to be adequate to deal with an incident of this size takes some time to put into place. We'll debrief it here now, so just a hot debrief, so quite short, pick up the main points. And then everyone will have the opportunity to feed back into a more structured mechanism to actually fill in forms and so on, and we'll have a more lengthy debrief to pick everything up in probably about, I would say, 4 to 6 weeks' time.
There's always that element of danger, and you've got to train for that. You train hard, fight easy, so on the day of the race you've got the skills and the confidence in yourself and your team and your partner to do the job as professionally as possible. Ultimately, we're here to search and rescue casualties as quickly as possible and as professionally as possible, put the fire out, save the ship, save property, save life.